We've all heard the phrase, every hero needs a villain, but there are some that have a higher caliber of arch-enemy than others. So who in both the DC and Marvel universes have the best villains? To find out, we've collected a list of the top 10 rogues galleries in comics today. Number 10, Teen Titans. When thinking of the Titans, don't think of the animated series that spawned a movie. The Titans that get the love on this list go back to the new Teen Titans of the 80s, where there were tons of bad guys that wanted to do them in. From organizations such as the Hive and Brother Blood, to monsters such as Trigon, who is also Raven's father, these foes just scratch the surface of the criminal element that comes after this group. There's also the fact that you have Terra, who joined the Teen Titans as a hero and then committed the ultimate betrayal by stabbing them in the back in one of the best arcs in the series, the Judas Contract. Last but not least, you have Deathstroke, the ultimate assassin who has gone round after round with the Titans while trying to kill each and every one of them. Number 9, Iron Man. Tony Stark, being a man of considerable means as well as a founding member of the Avengers, has amassed his fair share of villains over the years. Iron Man's rogues gallery features corporate threats, armored villains, criminal masterminds, and even an alien dragon. Businessmen such as Justin Hammer and Obadiah Stane have either made or donned armors to kill Iron Man over the years. When his Wall Street rivals aren't gunning for the armored Avenger, threats like Titanium Man, Crimson Dynamo, and Whiplash aren't far off. Criminal masterminds like Madame Mask added some international intrigue to Stark's adventures, but none rival his arch-enemy, the Mandarin, with his 10 power rings. Add to the fact that the Mandarin also helped usher the giant dragon Fin Fang Foom into Iron Man's world, and it's easy to see why he tops Shellhead's list. Number 8, Justice League. With a team that boasts a lineup of heavy hitters that includes the likes of Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Green Lantern, it only makes sense that the villains they go up against would be just as formidable. The names on this list feature some of the most iconic villains in the history of comic books. The Injustice League and the Secret Society of Supervillains are two teams over the years that have counted foes like Lex Luthor, the Joker, Catwoman, Darkseid, Sinestro, Black Manta, and others among its members. Threats from other Earths in the DC Universe have spawned the Crime Syndicate of America, and other Justice League villains include the Anti-Monitor, Starro, Prometheus, David Graves, and the White Martians from the Martian Manhunter's homeworld. Number 7, Green Lantern. Who in comics can claim an ex-girlfriend, a former colleague, and a collection of foes that span several galaxies as members of their rogues gallery? None other than Green Lantern, that's who. While there are several Green Lanterns to choose from, we're going to focus on Hal Jordan for this piece. Carol Ferris as Star Sapphire has tried to kill Hal for years, and he's had several deadly encounters with members of the other Corps, including Larfleeze and Atrocitus. Sinestro may be Green Lantern's archenemy and most iconic foe, but Parallax and Necron deserve to be mentioned in the same breath. Parallax was responsible for transforming Jordan into a villain for several years, and Necron's attempt to bring order to the universe in the Blackest Night miniseries is one of the highlights of Green Lantern's storied history. Number 6, Fantastic Four. This group has so many great foes they can go up against, it's hard to know where to begin. The FF's Rogues Gallery ranges from B-listers like Claw, Mole Man, and Hate-Monger to some of the more powerful races out there such as the Kree and the shape-shifting Skrulls. There's Annihilus, a villain so powerful that he rules the negative zone and anyone foolish to tread on his domain is dealt with severely. Perhaps their greatest adversary is Dr. Victor Von Doom, who literally rules Latveria with an iron fist. Doom would be the top villain on this group's list. However, let's not forget their biggest foe, both figuratively and literally, Galactus. This massive villain goes around the galaxy eating worlds as he so chooses. With his herald, the Silver Surfer, who is imbued with some of Galactus' power, you can see why the Fantastic Four has their work cut out for them. Number 5, Superman. The Man of Steel may be one of the most powerful heroes in the DC Universe. However, he is often up against some of the most evil masterminds on a daily basis. There are weird villains such as Mr. Mixia Spitlick, who can bend reality to his will, to Bizarro, who is a complete opposite version of Superman. Without a doubt, his arch-enemy may be one of the most iconic bad guys in all of pop culture, and that is Lex Luthor. Luthor is the type of villain that would try to sink California into the ocean so that the desert property he bought would skyrocket in value. Luthor's evil ambition is limitless, and he even becomes president of the United States at one point. There's also the android known as Brainiac, who not only wields the power to create advanced weaponry, but is able to possess people as well. One of the biggest villains that Superman has had to face, though, has to be Doomsday. This genetically enhanced creature is a precursor to the Kryptonian people, and it was strong enough to not only beat Superman, but kill him as well. Number 4. The X-Men. The Children of the Atom have a very impressive villains roster, as they have battled the likes of Dracula, Mr. Sinister, and have even been sent to the depths of hell. There are some villains that are not superpowered, such as the Silver Samurai, who holds a grudge against Wolverine. Other villains defy explanation, such as Mojo, whose world is based on the television industry, which is madness unto itself. Arcade is another villain that defies explanation, and his murder world has traps that cater to the weaknesses of the heroes he's trying to kill. The Sentinels are giant armored robots designed to hunt mutants. One of these Sentinels, Nimrod, hunted and killed mutants and kicked off the Days of Future Past storyline. You also have the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, a team of mutants with Magneto, Blob, Pyro, Mystique, and others on its roster who are bent on taking the world back for mutant kind. Apocalypse has to be one of the most powerful mutants that the X-Men has ever gone up against. However, he is not the most powerful one. That spot is reserved for Jean Grey, also known as Phoenix, when she became Dark Phoenix and had enough power to consume a star and wipe out billions of people. This drew the attention of the Shi'ar Empire and the Imperial Guard. Her act could not go unpunished, and the X-Men were challenged to a duel to decide her fate. The X-Men lost, and Jean Grey was put to rest, only to be resurrected years later. Number 3. The Avengers. When you belong to a group dubbed Earth's Mightiest Heroes, it stands to reason that your rogues gallery would contain some of the most dangerous foes in the universe. Over the years, the Avengers have clashed with alien races such as the Kree and Skrulls, the time-traveling Kang the Conqueror, and his later incarnation Immortus, the sentient and virtually indestructible robot known as Ultron, and the criminal mastermind Count Nefaria. The Masters of Evil, led by Baron Zemo, Taskmaster, and Loki the God of Mischief, who was the team's first foe, also make the list. Korvac merits mention, as he killed scores of Avengers in the classic Korvac saga. But surprisingly, the Avengers have faced some of their greatest threats from within. Ultron was created by Hank Pym, and the Scarlet Witch has wreaked havoc many times, particularly during the Avengers Disassembled and House of M storylines. The most iconic villain on this list, however, is none other than the Mad Titan himself, Thanos, who wields the Infinity Gauntlet and carries the fate of the universe on the edge of his fingers. Number 2. Batman. It's difficult to find a more impressive collection of rogues than Batman's, as most of these villains are household names. They range from the murderous Killer Croc, who prowls the sewers in search of his next meal, to the fearsome Man-Bat that soars through the skies of Gotham. There is also Catwoman, the thief who sets her sights on stealing whatever she wants, including Batman's heart. One of the favorites on this list has to be Harvey Dent, also known as Two-Face. Dent started out as Gotham's noble DA until an unfortunate chemical accident transformed him into a maniacal villain who lets the flip of a coin decide his victim's fate. Scarecrow, Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, Penguin, and Riddler are familiar names known even to those who aren't fans of the comics or movies. But of course, the king of the hill in Batman's world has to be the Joker, along with his sidekick Harley Quinn. The Clown Prince of Crime knows no boundaries, as he will stop at nothing to bring Batman to his knees, including killing Robin in a death in the family. Harley Quinn was once looked upon as a sidekick, however, she is not to be taken lightly, and will cut you in half with a smile on her face. Number 1. SpiderMan. Coming in at number 1 is the rogues gallery of everyone's favorite wall crawler, the Amazing Spider-Man. While his list of big bads may not be home runs like some of the others we've covered in our top 10 list, it is bursting with countless doubles, triples, and a home run or two. From the top tier baddies such as Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, Venom, and Kingpin, To secondary threats such as Carnage, Rhino, the Vulture, Lizard, Black Cat, and Kraven the Hunter, Spider-Man's rogues gallery is an endless roll call of iconic villains. What makes Spidey's villains so good, though, are how often they've been co-opted by other heroes as their arch nemesis, or have moved onto their own titles or movies. The Kingpin and Punisher have shifted from Spidey's villain list to become two of Daredevil's go-to baddies. Norman Osborn isn't just a Spider-Man villain anymore, and has become more of a global threat, even going up against the Avengers in recent storylines. Venom has his own title, and even beat Joker to the silver screen for his own solo movie. Even with the ones already mentioned, there's still Molten Man, Hammerhead, Mysterio, Hydra Man, Morlun, Hobgoblin, Electro, Sandman, Shocker, Scorpion, Mr. Negative, and the Jackal. Ultimately, it's the quantity and quality of standout villains that pushes Spider-Man's rogues gallery to the top of our list. Do you agree with our list? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and see you soon for another Comix Asylum Top 10.